Thanksgiving should leave you full of gratitude this season and not just full in the stomach. Today, Nurse Christina Paris is sharing some simple tips so you can enjoy every bite and still feel good afterwards. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Yeah, so had I had the foresight, I would have ordered an actual plastic traditional Thanksgiving, but I didn't. So thanks to my neighbors, they shared some of their kid food so that we could kind of talk about what an appropriate plate is and what we can do to try to improve or, keep the traditions, but protect our health as well. Right. So first I want you to start with a plate. All right, I'm putting you on the spot.
All right.
I want you to fill your plate with things in thinking of food groups that you would do.
That I would typically do?
Yes, on a Thanksgiving. I know we don't have that. And while you're doing
we got some potato here.
There we go.
This is gonna be turkey. It's a turkey leg now. It's, oh gosh, and there's usually some sort of,
you do the bread and stuff. I know we've been talking about some of the things that we would fix. And
green beans.
Portion control, of course, is a big thing when we're talking about Thanksgiving, and you want to make sure that timing and pacing of your food.
Right.
So okay, all right. Let's see how you did here.
Okay, that's plate number one.
So you got So that's the other big thing. So this is actual. I never even noticed that it says it in here. So vegetables should be half of your plate. So half of your plate should be your vegetables. 1/4 of your plate should be your proteins, and 1/4 of your plate should be your starches.
Oh, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
I've done okay.
Right. And I think, but the other thing is, do you know what in here is a vegetable, what's a starch, what's a protein? So that's the other thing that I want to talk about.
Right.
So if we're going to do half of our plate with the vegetables, you can do like the veggie trays with dip.
Yes,
the
carrot
okay.
sticks are great.
If that's the only way that you can get kids to eat vegetables, you can display them creatively. You can get carrots, maybe put a little honey. You want to be a little careful, but you can caramelize the carrots. You can roast them with a little bit of olive oil and some fresh herbs. Those are great ways. So you want half of your plate to be your vegetables, your broccoli, and we also have to be careful because sometimes we tend to put cheesy stuff, on our vegetables, and so that can make it bad. Now, protein, you're right. You're talking about your turkey. If there's a shrimp cocktail platter, that would be good. That's a good source of protein.
Some people do ham
very
too.
Low in fat. Ham is good as well, but it's high in sodium, so you have to be careful with that. Now, when we're talking starches, we're talking about, your sweet potato, mashed potatoes, dinner rolls are starches. And so your starches they're complex carbohydrates, so they are good for energy and sugar, but you have to be careful, and they're a good source of fiber too. So like squash and sweet potatoes, you have to be careful if you're adding sugar to that though, because that can spike the blood sugar levels. And starches too can also be high in potassium and vitamin C, B6, folate, niacin. So there's a lot of good things you can get with your starches. So that's gonna be your stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, dinner rolls, your mac and cheese that you and I were talking about.
There's many things.
Cranberry sauce actually is considered in the starch, but also kind of a fruit, too. But again, you have to be careful with that one with the sugar. With vegetables, and proteins are important because proteins help your body do what it needs to do. So it's a great source of fuel, helps with hormone production, oxygen transport, immune system. So we need good proteins, helps with weight management. A lot of those people who are on those keto diets, they're doing, keeping the other kinds of
ketosis.
They're keeping with the just all protein. And then, but you have to be careful because like we talked about, the ham can be high in sodium. If you add gravy to stuff, gravies can have fats that can
it's definitely going on the turkey.
Be bad if you have high cholesterol, high blood sugars, or hypertension. Vegetables are a great way to get minerals, vitamins, a good source of fiber as well. But you want to be careful, again, if we put it in cheesy sauces and things like that. So you want to be careful. Now, I have just some good old tips on
Oh boy, here we go.
Thanksgiving. So here we go. Build your plate. You know, make sure that you're starting with the veggies first. Choose the must-have items. So if you really, really like mac and cheese, for me, it's stuffing. I don't eat stuffing a lot, but I love a really good stuffing. So choose what starch you're going to eat, and make sure you're doing that hand sizes. So, you want to make it, carbs are about the size of your fist, proteins the size of your palm, and fats. So that's going to be your gravies, your butters, your cheesy sauces. Right. The size of your thumb. Not much. Yeah. Don't sacrifice. So you can actually use like Greek yogurt, sour cream, use roasted potatoes, roasted sweet potatoes instead of candied, and use a lot of herbs, citrus, garlic, things like that instead of salt. Hydrate. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day. I know champagne is on my list and some wine, but make sure you're hydrating too, especially early in the morning. Go slow and check your hunger. So don't just gobble stuff. If you eat smaller meals throughout the day, it helps. Make sure that pick one favorite for dessert and maybe do a half a slice instead of a full slice, especially if you're a diabetic. Make sure that you're watching hidden sugars and salts and stuff in like your gravies and your sauces, and make sure that we talked about the portion control, mindful eating, so, think about each bite, and we talked about this healthy swaps as well, and making sure that you're not skipping meals. So eat breakfast in the morning, because that will help get you throughout the day too, and maybe minimize some of the snacking.
Well, there you go. Some good tips for the Thanksgiving upcoming here. Yeah. And there's just a lot to be mindful of. And again, sometimes the appetite, is, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Absolutely. And, you fill up the plate and then you go, oh goodness, can't quite get there.
And while some of the fun is cooking, enjoy that time with family too. Oh, yeah. It's a great opportunity to spend time and be thankful for the people that we do love and care about.
Well, thanks for sharing your tips and spending your time this morning with us. We appreciate you.
My pleasure.
All right, we're going to be right back with What's Trending. Stay tuned.